Hey, I'm still Jeremy. Today we are biking along this canal, this river called Shirokitagawa. Let's go see what is up with this river. I just saw recently, today, on a map, Google Maps calls it Johoku River or something like that. So I don't know what the real name is. Our other goal today is to find a vending machine that has carbonated water in it for 100 yen. Oh, by the way, as I'm going up this river, I try to go across some of the bridges too, just because who doesn't like going across bridges? Right? So maybe zigzag back and forth. I saw on TV this morning here in Ōsaka some computer animation about coughing and sneezing and how much the air carries if you're coughing and sneezing with or without a mask or with kind of a small type mask. It was kind of gross because it was in super slow motion, so somebody would, like the little computer model guy, would cough and super slow motion, all this blue and green and yellow air, the air molecules would kind of slowly puff out and spread around the area he was in. And I say that because, yet again, I have no mask on today because I'm outside, and other people do seem to have masks on. I don't know what's going on here. There's good video, and then there is great video. Okay, now here's a bridge, but I don't seem to be able to get up to it. Well, never mind then. Guys. This canal, I keep calling it a canal because it's all walled in with these brick walls. It's actually, technically it's called a river. This river, Shirokitagawa, goes north. It just starts right back where I started, and it goes north from the Ōsaka River, which is one of the major rivers in this part of Japan. Goes up to Kyoto. Anyway, it kind of goes up from here, or from Ōsaka, very straight. Then it curves a little bit to the west, and I think it ends up in the Ōsaka, which is the big river between Ōsaka and Kyoto. And a lot of canals and rivers in Japan have some kind of path beside them, and this is a particularly nice one. You should have seen it like 2 months ago when the cherry blossoms were out. Most of these trees are cherry blossom trees, or quite a lot of them are. Hey, another bridge. And the big news with me is, since the last video, I did an English lesson. My first English lesson in over 2 months. It was online. It was my regular students who are adults. I don't teach kids these days, but adults, they work at a company in the area. And usually I go to that company. We take one of their meeting rooms. We have the lesson in there every week. But they're not going to work that much, and all the lessons have been canceled. So last night we did it online. And there's all these weird little rules, like we were going to use Zoom, which everybody's been using since the coronavirus lockdown started. But that company has some kind of rule that doesn't allow them to use Zoom. I don't know what that rule is, but we went to Google Meet. And my company that I teach for, the English Teacher Placement Company, they have some rule that I can't be the one that actually starts the meeting, i.e. the lesson, the session. And I have no idea what that means. So somebody from the client company has to start the lesson each week, which is kind of a pain for them. Ooh, secret side path. Awesome. But anyway, the lesson was pretty cool. It was 2 lessons. Usually it's an hour and a half, but this was 2 45-minute lessons. Split the students up. And it was pretty good. Only one speaking at a time, so they didn't have like real debates and stuff, but I thought it went pretty well. I'm not going to find any vending machines on the river path. That's not how it works. Only when I come up to the street. Oh well. Yeah, she found a drink somewhere. Maybe I'll take that one. So, part 1 of this video will be biking north along this canal. Part 2 will be biking back, but not along the canal. It'll be on the streets and the neighborhoods. It's really nice. A lot of birds, a lot of green trees. Hey guys. And this nice river. And not too many people. That's the sign of a good path. When you can just bike quickly and there's not too many people to be obstacles. On my YouTube channel, I do have a playlist of several videos I've made about some of my photography expeditions. I'm a sub amateur photographer, but I do make videos when I go traveling around Japan or wherever to try to take photos. Usually photos of the moon or the stars or a sunset or something like that. And in pretty much every one of those videos, my photography videos, I get distracted by birds at some point. And it's not like it wasn't supposed to be a theme of the videos, but it just kind of happened. Something very, very distracting and photogenic to me about birds. So, biking along this path, the bird potential is very high. The bird potential. Okay. This bridge up here. Oh, there's an answer about the river's name. Shirokitagawa. Shirokita River. Just as I said. Why does Google think it's called Johoku? Google Maps is about half useful and half useless. Anyway, this bridge going, where is this? West. So we're going north, so to the left is west, to the right is east. Under this bridge, under where I am here, is one of the subway lines, Imazato Suji line, which is the newest subway line in Ōsaka. It's also the deepest subway line, because they had to build it not only way under the streets and everything, but under this river and under a lot of the other stuff that was already underground, other lines and stuff. So way down there, 20 or 30 meters or whatever it is, there's a subway line. But I'm going to turn around and go over this bridge. Oh, maybe I should go look for some water while I'm on street level. All right, remember where the river is. We've got to come back. Let's cut across the river and we'll look for water over there. And when I say it has to be 100 yen, there's a certain point in the summer in which it gets so warm that I don't care. It's not really that hugely warm today. There are machines everywhere until you want one. To the right, you think there are some vending machines? There must be one somewhere. All right, this is 100 yen. This yellow kind with the 100 yen usually does not have bubble water. No. What we need is the red Coca-Cola one or a blue, whoever owns the blue ones. Not that white one. Now we're going south. This is no good. This building's called Kinki Building. Kinki being the area, the whole central area of Japan here. K-I-N-K-I, not K-I-N-K-Y. Although I don't know what goes on in that building. Maybe it is Kinki. So look at these buildings, these big apartment blocks. A common feature of Japan. When I first came to Japan in 2004, I was actually hired by a company that is in North America in 2003. So they sent me a series of emails and stuff preparing me for life here before I actually came. I remember one of the emails tried to prepare you for the ugliness of Japan, which I'm sorry to say is a thing. It is pretty ugly in a fascinating, beautiful kind of way. Anyway, the email said, so try to do what the locals do. Don't notice the bad parts, notice the good parts. And the example they gave was, don't look at the big, ugly, boxy concrete apartment block. Look at all of the multicolored towels and blankets and stuff that people are hanging out on their rails to dry in the sun. And when I read that email, I was like, yeah, right. That's a little bit of a hopeful spin that I don't know if I can really get behind. But let's try it out here. A blue machine. But since I've been here a few years, I kind of see the wisdom in that. No. Well, I'm going to completely break the rule I just explained and buy a non-carbonated water, like a commoner. It's only 100 yen. Mineral water. It just says mineral water. It doesn't really explain what that means. Where is this from? It's really pure. It says it comes from Nara Prefecture. Ah, it's cool. Very cool. All right, back to the river. And here's the next plan. When I get to the river, it's time for a blood sugar check. It's just after lunchtime, and this tends to be my lowest time of the day. Not every day, but often blood sugar seems to sort of slowly trend downward over the afternoon, which makes long bike rides all the more fearsome. I'll just have to get across this road. I don't really know why, but masks lately in Japan have been colored and with patterns on them and stuff. Because every year, every winter, people wear masks. And throughout pretty much any time of year, because of hay fever, people wear masks. More so in winter, but year round you see a lot of masks. They're always white. Masks have always been white. I've never worn them because I don't tend to get colds and flus and hay fever or anything, but suddenly, during the coronavirus, somehow, Japan's masks have flourished in their colors and their designs. Now, that's always been a thing in like South Korea and maybe China. So if you see like a group of Asian-looking people walking around Ōsaka that look sort of like tourists, but they're wearing like pink and blue and purple masks and stuff, usually from China, maybe South Korea. But I've seen some local Japanese people with them on, so times change. I'm glad to see it. The white only was a little bit antiseptic. We're gonna have to go to the same side of the river that we were on. Check out this view. That is awesome. Why? Talk about something to aspire to. I got distracted by the guy's beard. Now I don't know how to get back to the river path. Oh, where does this go? This looks like a dead end. Right. It is a dead end. Or is it? Keep biking until someone yells at you or arrests you. Keeps going. Now I can carry my bike up the stairs and get back to the path, but that feels like kind of cheating. If it were real important, I would, but it's not real important. So, as we all know, that's the key to a good life. What's the key to a good life? Well, eating right, sleeping right, not having any stress. But the other key is make everything a game, make everything fun, make it exciting. I'll buy a water, but only if it's 100 yen, because I'm trying to save 10 yen. Or the other way, if you don't want to feel cheap. I'll only buy a water if it's 110 yen, whatever. If you're trying to get to the bike path, you cannot use stairs. I do use my bell sometimes. Very old school. Sometimes people do not pay any attention. One of the things that took me a long time to get used to when I came to Japan and started riding my bicycle around was that people do not use hand signals here. I'll get back to that in a second. Okay, this is the second of the 3 train lines we're going to cross today. As you saw, this is the Keihan line, which again goes from Ōsaka to Kyoto, but it's not a subway, so it's all overground. This particular bridge has fish and turtles on it, because why not? Okay, anyway, people don't use hand signals when they're biking here. They don't use helmets either. If you see somebody with a helmet, it's usually a cyclist, which is different than the average Joe and Jane like us, just riding bicycles around for fun or transportation. Anyway, so people don't wear masks. They don't wear helmets. Sometimes they don't wear masks either. They don't use hand signals, so there's no stoppings, turning signals. And I thought, well, that's just going to be chaos. I don't know what people are going to do. And you don't, but there's sort of a rhythm to the streets. Kind of like every country has its own driving rhythms, the rhythms of the road. Like I know them in America very well because that's where I grew up driving. They're different here. I don't drive here, but I don't really know what they are. Let's go across. But bicycling in Japan has its own rhythms, and there isn't much chaos, despite the lack of hand signals. I did see a couple guys biking the other day, wearing helmets. Pretty sure they were locals. and they were using hand signals. I thought it was really nice. I kind of wish that would catch on, because I hate when I'm slowing down the turn somewhere and I don't use hand signals, because nobody does here. Nobody would know what they meant. But I hate when I'm slowing down to turn somewhere and then I hear behind me the ee of somebody's brakes about to smash into me. Oh, I forgot to check my blood sugar. Oops. Morty showed me. I like this guy's hairstyle. Simpatico. Oh, I know where this is. I've been here. This is Imazato Suji, right? No. Something like that. I don't know what it is, but I've been here before. I've actually ridden the bus to here before. I don't remember why. That was part of my Ōsaka A to Z video. That was years ago. I rode a bus out to this station back there and then walked up to a bridge. Oh, please let me get back to the river. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. Well, I've got to check my blood sugar. I believe it is somewhere between 65 and 240. In other words, I cannot tell. No, I'll just bike on the road, it's fine. Against the traffic. I'm sure that's safe. It is a Friday afternoon here, by the way. Oh, hey, the path. So it's a Friday afternoon, so most people are at work, if they're going to be working during this virus. So that's why there's not many people on the path. I guess the kids are still in school, otherwise they'd probably be wandering around the path. All right, I try to find a place to check my blood sugar where there aren't going to be people. I don't know why, just maybe they don't want to see such a gross thing. So we'll do it here, next to this beautiful corrugated iron. How do I do this? I don't know about you, but heat in the summer, the heat is getting worse and worse every year in Ōsaka. Everybody always comments on that. But the heat, when I'm really hot, feels kind of like being low. And in some ways, it does actually make my blood sugar low. So just feeling hot can kind of feel like I'm low, and it kind of confuses me. Delicious. Can't read this machine in the sun. Wow, does it say 100 even? 100 even. I like the 1-drop meter, but it is not easy to read in the sunshine. Well, if it's 100 even, I have to do what? Have some juice. Stop calling me uncoordinated. I can do this. Where the hell is my juice? Oh, here we go. Got juice, I got chocolate. You can choose either one. Got juice, chocolate, and glucose powder. Glucose powder. I should get somebody else to narrate these videos. I get too tongue-tied. Put somebody in the basket or put somebody on the back of the bike. Let them talk about it. I'll be the labor. They can be the talent. One thing you perfect, if you're a diabetic who likes bicycling and you live in Japan, the one-handed biking and the one-handed juice guzzling. Even up inclines, your legs become so strong. Okay, this is unfortunate. Denied. To be honest, I thought this was going to take longer. I think we're even farther north than I thought. So we're going to end the video soon. Omiya. That bridge is called Omiya Kobashi, something like that. Not Kobashi. So I'll end the video here once I figure out where I am and where I want to get off the path. I want to get down close to the river once more before we end this video. I mean, this is freedom. It's warm, but it's like windy, especially when you're biking. It's a nice day. I'm working again. I got paid a little money for the classes I did last night. That's exciting. Drink your juice and shut up, you beddick. So I appreciate the email I got from my company years ago, which told me, don't notice the ugly apartment block, notice all the friendly, colorful blankets that people hang out. What about a building like this where there is nothing? Just a gargantuan, repetitive pattern of brutality. Nah, I bet it's all right. Okay, here we go. This looks like a good one. Oops. Uh-oh, the kids are out. Always complicates things. Okay, another little bit, and then I'll get off. This is kind of cool. What's this? I mean, I don't know, there's something about Japan. This is what I love about it. This is it's not nice. It's granite cylinders, granite stumps just stuck in the ground, and no table. But it's here. Other countries wouldn't have anything. And it's covered. It's nice. It's nice that this is everywhere. If you need it, you can use it. And people do use it. Not right now, but you often see people sitting around in places like this. People of all ages doing all sorts of things. They're either on their phones, or they're eating, or they're feeding the birds like we saw. Love this kind of stuff. It's decaying and not super clean, but all this amazing infrastructure exists for people. It's cool. Hey, this is a pedestrian-only bridge, no cars. Well, I think this is worth it. All right, I'm convinced. Let's end the video here. This will be half the video. I'm going to go shoot part 2 now. You have to go watch that later. But anyway, I'm going to do my little outro speech now, which I try to do in every video. What do people think when I'm talking to myself? I notice on some of these videos, because it's a 360-degree camera, I can spin it around anytime I want to when I'm editing and see what's going on. Often when I'm sitting here talking to the camera, people bike or walk by me and they don't seem to pay any attention, but when they get behind me, they kind of look over at me like, what's that guy doing? I noticed that. They don't know I noticed. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Go watch part 2, which is going to be some of the streets around this area, around the river, and kind of back the same way I just came, but in more of the residential streets. So, thanks for watching. Look at my other videos to see, there's always 3 things I say. Travel tips, stories from the road, and my own experiences as a type 1 diabetic wanderer. That's it. See you on the road.